Hello pals, it's Strawberry Witch, and today I'm going to be doing another spread. Also, sorry if you can hear piano in the background. It just adds to the ambiance, okay? We'll just say it adds to the ambiance. So, I am going to do a journal spread of Darys. These are the two pictures I'm going to use. Darys is not my character, he is Yelhsa's character. And I have put a lot of pressure on myself with this spread because I love Darys very much, so I could not think of what I wanted to do for him because every idea was just not good enough. So I finally got some inspiration and decided to tackle it. I also got a bunch of new art supplies, so I got these paints, these acrylic paints, and some new brushes. So now I'm going to try and mix some teal because he is more teal coated. Darys is a Triton barbarian blood hunter. Yes, I remember it correctly. um, he is extremely cursed and has probably one of the worst backstories in terms of Yelhsa's characters. I personally think Genesis takes the cake, but that may be a certain person's bias somewhere in there. So I I don't quite remember when I started liking Darys so much, but he quickly became a character that I don't know. He's just very funny, he's very sarcastic. He's very goofy though as well. He's very loyal. And it's funny because I don't Darys was never supposed to be part of Shattered Memories, which is the main campaign that I run. He was never supposed to be a part of it. He was only supposed to be relevant to this mini campaign that I do with just me and Yelhsa called T-Lats, and he wasn't even supposed to be that relevant. He was just a dude. So he did show up in Shattered Memories, and it was only supposed to be for a session or two, and Kaze and him ended up clicking really, really well. And that one or two sessions turned into, I think, 20 something because Darys introduced Kaze to a bunch of other people, Genesis being one of those. And as you know, if you've seen the Genesis video, Kaze and Jen are a couple, and he became very close with another person there in the Golden Serpent called Yelhsa. They fight all the time. They honestly act like brother and sister. And just these people became such an important part of Kaze's life, all because of this one man, all because of Darys. So, yeah, Darys opened up a whole other world, and he wasn't supposed to, and I think that's very funny. That's how D&D is, though, you know? A lot of things happen that you never actually plan for, so... we love Darys in this house. So I'm using pink and red roses. Roses are Darys's favorite flower because if you look at that picture on the left, there's a vase of red roses with one pink rose in it. So that's why I decided to use pink and red roses. And this technique that I'm about to do, I'm about to cut out the middle where all that white is. In hindsight 2020, I should have just painted the whole page. I was trying to save paint. But I should have just painted the whole page. I absolutely did not. So I have to X-Acto knife the white out, but I'm going to cut the middle out. And I saw this method several times on TikTok of people who art journals. So that's why I knew it'd be perfect for Darys because it's going to look like a window. And it's going to look like a window. So when you flip the page, you can see both pictures, you know, and you can decorate both sides. You'll see what I do. But I'm cutting out the center with an X-Acto knife, and this is the easiest experience I've ever had with an X-Acto knife because this paper is very thin. It's not, honestly, this paper is not made for art journaling at all, but I make it work. That's why when I did my Gen spread, I had to paint my watercolor on watercolor paper and then paste it in, because this would never be able to hold watercolor. And there's a spread coming up. The next spread that I do after this is my Lavender Dream spread, where I put several coats of paint, and honestly the paper was buckling just after like 3 coats of paint, which that will be the next video that I post in terms of art journaling after this one. Yes, I am very happy with the way this spread turned out, and it's just crazy to think back that Darys was never supposed to be in this campaign, and then him and Kaze become best friends. They're actually married. Like, legit, they're actually married. It was completely a joke. Well, it was a joke. And Darys was like, nah, we gonna get married. And brought marriage papers, and Kaze is like, ha ha, it's not actually real. Ha ha, this is just a joke. Sign the marriage papers, so technically they're technically married. You know, just bros being bros. And now I'm painting with a darker teal. I was very proud of myself mixing paints. Like, I'm learning a lot about mixing paints doing this art journal, so wahoo. And also the classes I take when I go see Yelhsa, we always do a painting class, and they teach me a lot about mixing paints. And Yelhsa also taught me a lot about cool tones and warm tones, so that's how I knew to make this one a darker color and the other one a lighter color. So I appreciate it. I'm learning. But yeah, Kaze and Darys are married, which is kind of hilarious. And they are best friends. They got along so quickly. They clicked so quickly. I knew they would get along before we did this little one shot that wasn't a one shot. I knew they'd get along. I just did not expect the level that they got along, especially because Kaze is kind of a quiet guy when you first meet him. For the most part, depends on how comfortable he feels with you in the beginning, but he is normally a quieter guy. But he seemed to click with Darys like almost instantly, which I think says a lot. There are rarely some people that he does click with right away. Not rarely, but every now and then. Like, I don't remember if he clicked with Genesis that quickly. I think he did, but only because Genesis was drunk and was talking like a normal person. He has also clicked very easily with this other character that you'll see 5,000 years from now when I do the Blood Hunters. Amon, and this other character, Cherith, who I don't even have a picture for right now, so you will not see her anytime soon. Oh, and as always, I, thought it was implied because this is Yelhsa's character, but Yelhsa did the art. Yelhsa does all of the character art that I use because she is awesome and amazing, and does all of our character art for everything. And here's me fangirling and freaking out because it looks so good. I'm so proud of it. I think it looks great. Yeah, Yelhsa does all the character art, and she is just awesome and amazing, and we love her a lot in this house, and I'm so grateful that she wants to bring these characters to life. Like, all of the NPCs, all of the important characters. It's really sweet, because after this Darys spread, I did Mika and Tora, which the Mika and Tora video is already posted. It was posted last week. That is getting into NPCs, and a lot of them are mine. A lot of them are my NPCs that are in the city that the main characters are currently living in, Lusto. So, Mika and Tora, and then after is the Lavender Dream spread, which is Claude, Daisy, and Xavius. Claude owns a cafe called the Lavender Dreams, and those other two work there. And then after will be, I think, our first couple spread. Yeah, our first couple spread, which will be Xavius and Sinja. Sinja is Yelhsa's character, but Xavius is mine. And they got together semi-recently, but they've been in love with each other for, God, like 3 years or something. So I have a couple picture of those two, and you'll see how in love they are when I show this picture, because my God, like the way they look at each other. Um, but yeah, we're gonna start getting into the NPCs. We're gonna start getting into NPCs, and I'm just grateful that Yelhsa wanted to bring, like, not just bring our characters to life, like Flask and Azazel and Sylvia and Kaze, not just bring our characters to life, but bring all these NPCs to life. And so everyone say, thank you, Yelhsa, you're amazing, and your art is gorgeous and beautiful, and you make everyone hot AF. Because it's true. She does. I am biased because Darys is my favorite, so I cannot contribute to that poll. He just has this air about him, which is funny because I feel like this picture on the left makes him look like a little evil, which, I mean, he's definitely a morally gray character to the entirety extent of the word. He's not afraid to kill a bitch just because they simply piss him off. But I feel like the picture on the right, I feel like that one captures his essence a bit more. Very mischievous, very playful, very speaks in this very exaggerated tone. Like in the previous video, no, in the Genesis video, I talked about how Jin talks like a robot, because he can't express emotions very easily. Darys is like the exact opposite of that. He elongates his vowels, and his like he spreads out words, and his voice kind of goes up and down when he speaks. So he's basically the exact opposite of Genesis. Speaking of Jen, there he is. So he's very different. He's very dramatic when he talks, and I don't know, I love it. I have nothing else to say. I think it's great. And it's a lot of fun, and I know Kaze thinks it's very funny, so I guess that's why they get along or something. Kaze is also a very dramatic guy. He doesn't speak dramatically. He is just a dramatic too. Speaking of Kaze, the infamous barrel with all of my Kaze dice in it. One day there will be somebody else's dice. I also cut out this lotus sticker that I didn't put on there, but I did cut it out because he has a tattoo of a black lotus on his shoulder. Do I remember which one? Right? Question mark. You see, he's best friends with Marathon. I've already done the spread for Marathon. She was actually one of the first I did. But Marathon has a pink lotus tattoo. They're best friends. There's a lotus. You cannot see it, but I promise that's a lotus. She also has a lotus tattoo. They're best friends, so they got matching tattoos. And so I did put that little lotus on there for if you know, you know. I also got these star glitter things. I bought a bunch of glitter, and they came in these glass vials, which are really nice, and it's different colors of glitters. So I'm putting some gold stars on here because he's a star in my book, you know. But yeah, I really like how when you flip the page, you can see both pictures. So now I'm going to decorate this side, which I already painted it. And so this time I'm going to do black roses because the picture on the right is brighter, right? I said it kind of encompasses his essence a bit more. Whereas the picture on the left, he looks a little bit evil, right? So we're going with black roses. And his lotus tattoo is black, so black roses, right? I think he prefers red roses. I don't know if those are his favorite, question mark. I mean, his jacket that he wears has red roses all over it, so I'm going to say that one's his favorite. But on this one, I put black roses, and unfortunately, I didn't have as many to clutter it as I did with the pink and red. But we make it work. We make it work, baby. And it still turned out really well. And on the right picture here, I did paste in actual rose petals. Those are pressed rose petals that I have, because I have a lot of pressed flowers that I honestly forgot about until I started journaling again recently. But those are real pressed pink rose petals. They look red and yellow, or more like fuchsia and yellow, but they are pink because I have a pink rose bush. I have 2 pink rose bushes in my my side yard, I guess, technically. And so I was like, this is perfect. I'm going to use the actual roses for the guy who loves roses. So it worked out. I'm very happy. And now I have to X-Acto again because the black stickers do poke out a little bit. So I have to get those off so they aren't so noticeable. This, I'm just so happy. I just think it's so gorgeous. I put so much pressure on myself because I was like, I love Darys, so he has to have a spread worthy of him. You know what I mean? He has to have a spread worthy of him. And I hope that I did him justice. See, I even left pages. I just went ahead and did Mika and Tora spread because I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Nor I don't know what I want to do. So I am happy with the way it turned out. I also had to get a different rose petal because the whole point of the frame, I did not want it to peek through. You see what I'm trying to do here? I didn't want it to peek through. I wanted it to be an immersion of kind of like a painting, I guess, as if something was in a frame. So I didn't want any of the decorations to really peek through that much when you turned the page. So I just took that rose petal out. It was too big and I didn't have one small enough to really fit the vibes that I was going for. And I colored in that empty space. Sharpied in that empty space. And just putting in some final details like washi tape. Gonna use that blue. And then I remembered that I had red and black paints. And I felt like the red and black paints fit the vibe of him, especially because that red is really dark. It said that it was scarlet. Nah, that red, as you can see, is not scarlet to me. I think it's like a few shades darker than scarlet, but I also suck at colors, so who knows. But look at how beautifully that red matches with that picture. So I thought it was perfect. And then I'm like layering black on top of it to kind of just give it some dimension. I will say that these paints dry down very, very matte. Now, I'll be honest with you, these paints are really cheap, so that's most likely why. But you get what you pay for. And I still think it turned out really well. Like, I like how cloudy it looks, but this is how the spread turned out. And I just am over the moon. Like, look at that one on the right. Oh my God. And then the black with this picture, like, I'm really glad. I got something on my hand. I'm really glad I did the darker teal with the black roses. It looks perfect for that picture. And I don't know, I'm really proud of it. What do y'all think? Whoa, piano. Whoa. I think I'm also allowing the piano in the background because Darys plays piano, so like I said, ambiance. But yes, I'm very happy. I hope you guys enjoyed this art video. I had a great time filming it and making it. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, my dears.